Not for you.
Very ignorant pastor's section of hell. It will be filled.
Not a bad synopsis.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Brad Rants. I am Brad, and you're not. And tonight, we've got an interesting lineup. Let's just pull the trigger. Hit me with what you got.
It's O-P-E-N, the verb to open. What do you want for the opposite? C-L-O-S-E, close. Nice, open and close. And what do you want for the opposite of far away? C-L-O-S-E, close. Close. C-L-O-S-E, close. Yeah. C-L-O-S-E, the opposite of open, and C-L-O-S-E, the opposite of far away. They're spelled exactly the same. Yes, but they sound totally different. Close as in hose and close as in dose. But if you take the C off the front, you get lose, not lows as in hose and los as in dose. Those aren't even words. Precisely. And while we're at it, lose sounds like it needs a double O for that oo sound. No, that's loose. Exactly. Right, we need a word for items worn to cover the body. Clothes. Close, clothes and clothes. People are just going to... Don't say it. This one is C-L-O-T-H-E-S. Clottes?
Yeah, English is terrible. English is awful for those exact reasons. Apparently it's one of the hardest languages in the world to learn. I don't know. It was my first language, so it was easy for me to pick up. That may be bold to say. I don't know if it was easy for me to pick up. I feel like I probably struggled with that for several years. But I'm okay at it now. But I still get frustrated about those exact things. And I hate it.
Little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And I won't fade out, no I won't sit still. Gonna let this light burn until the end. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine. Won't let Satan blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Won't let Satan blow it out. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And I won't fade out. No, I won't sit still. Gonna let this light burn until the end. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Hey, hey, let it shine, let it shine. Oh, let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Hide it under a bushel. No, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. And I won't fade out. No, I won't sit still. Gonna let this light burn until the...
Where'd the volume go? No, that is great. I love that. It feeds the inner emo in me. I mean, yeah, children's worship meets Simple Plan, right? That's what it sounded like to me. That sounded like, actually it sounded like Simple Plan might have recorded that. Which were one of my absolute favorite bands from back in the day. They're like pre-emo, I guess. They're like proto-emo. But they're pre-pop punk anyway. But that was like terrific. I need more of that. I would totally download whatever album that is. Because I love pop. Look, emo's not dead. Felt emo, might delete later.
Making my way downtown, walking
walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound. Staring blankly ahead, just making
Was ist?
my way.
Oh mein Gott, du hast gerade das.
Ekelfülli von mir.
And I need you, and I miss you, and now I wonder if I could fall into the sky. Do you think time will pass me by? 'Cause you know I
Homie said, "Nah, I'm good." Oh, I wasn't expecting that. That was great. I love it.
This heaven? Yes. And you are? Calvin. John Calvin. Are you Orthodox? No. Calvinist. Lord of mercy. Servetus? Lucifer, escort Mr. Calvin to hell. To hell? Yes. But why? We have reached our maximum capacity. But I was not chosen. Chosen for hell. There's nothing we can do about this. Nothing we can do. Enjoy your evanescent grace. Lucifer.
I agree with the question that he said that Peter asked. Are you Orthodox? I think he and I just disagree on what Orthodox means there. Because Peter was a Jew, and so Orthodox Judaism would have been what he was asking about. Glad we could get that out of the way.
Eat caramel apple, you get caramel all over your fingers. It's just so annoying, dude.
That's what it felt like eating a caramel apple this year. I did attempt to do that, and I got an apple that was hard as could be. I mean, I don't know. You couldn't eat it without getting absolutely disgusting, which I still did because it's the season for that, and I was not going to forego a caramel apple during the fall season. So pictures were not taken. You don't get to see that. Nobody does. It's buried instead.
So it's my birthday, and one of the gifts that I got from my 10-year-old daughter was this nice desk calendar. Let's look at the picture, shall we? Thanks.
I would adore that kind of gift. That's excellent. That props. That's like the best kind of idea. And you know he's super proud of it too. He's just acting for the camera, like he's like disappointed about that. He loves that. He thinks that's epic. Cause it is. That's like it's like dad gift goals.
I'm John Kennedy. I'm a United States Senator, though I have tried to rise above it. And this is my new book. It's not a policy book, it's a story book. It'll help you understand why normal in Washington, D.C. is a setting on the dryer. It will help you understand why United States senators are not like most teenagers. They're all over 40. I explain in this book what the Senate is really like, what President Biden's really like behind the scenes, what President Trump's really like. I have stories about everything from the media to Chuck Grassley to Ted Cruz to Sasquatch, you name it. I even have a picture, a naked picture of Chuck Schumer in the shower. Not really, but I thought
I was gonna say, we don't want to see that.
the books. So this book, it's far-reaching. It'll make you think. It might make you laugh, and it'll probably make you day drink.
Day drink? Well, say less. Where's the book? I need to get that. If, I mean, why not? Sounds good. As long as it doesn't actually have that naked picture of Chuck Schumer, we really don't want to see that. Um, uh, I believe that there's like an amendment about it's the Eighth Amendment. It's the Eighth Amendment, right? Against cruel and unusual punishment. They should know that. You can't do that. You can't even joke about that. That's not fair.
You know what the Bible says? If someone slaps you on the right cheek, turn to him the other one also. Yeah, that doesn't mean what you think. What do you mean? Of course it does. Turn the other cheek, go the extra mile. If someone takes your tunic, give him your cloak also. Yeah, so those aren't actually about being extra nice. They're about subtly subverting injustice. Wait, what? Yeah, in that culture, a slap with the back of your hand meant you were beneath them. Turning the other cheek forced them to treat you as an equal because you'd be hitting them with the front of your hand. Really? Yeah, really. And with the go the extra mile thing, Roman law only let soldiers force you to carry their gear for 1 mile. If you went 2, it could actually get them in trouble. Huh. And the cloak thing, say you gave up both your tunic and your cloak, that would actually leave you naked. But in their culture at the time, shame wasn't on the naked person, it was actually on the one looking, the one taking from someone who didn't have. I thought these passages were just about generosity in every situation. No, Jesus was actually teaching people how to fight back in such a way that exposed the injustice by taking their systems to the logical extreme.
Yeah, I don't know about any of those Roman laws that he was citing. They could be true, but that's news to me. I've never heard of that before. The turning the other cheek was not even actually like a reference to being slapped physically. A lot of people don't know that's not what that was about. It's more figurative, turning the other cheek in regards to like people saying mean things about you. Just essentially saying, look, let it just blow it off. Essentially, it actually does not have anything to do with being physically assaulted. But you know, a, a, a renegade, probably socialist, is he's probably one of those people who thinks that Jesus was a socialist. They'll find any way to make anything about correcting injustices.
The police report from Utah. It usually takes the police about 24 hours to release this information. It took them 24 hours and 2 minutes. Why? What are they hiding? Charlie was becoming Catholic. I have the receipts, if you think I'm lying. I'm not going to post them in this video. I'm going to post them like 8 videos down. By the way, like and subscribe and hit that bell notification.
Brisket buds forever. Arby's, we have the meat.
I've had information for months that Israel was trying to shut him up. Do what? Why didn't I mention it before? Hey, fire that guy. There's only 2 people that can shut me up. My husband and Erica Kirk. Hey, turn my phone off. Yeah, just turn it off.
I mean, it's real though. It's so true that the what really just got me this past time was the blatant lying about Netanyahu and his letter to the letter between him and Charlie. Because even her fans were spouting the same nonsense. They go, well, she didn't say, right? She didn't say. It's like, no, she didn't deliberately say it. She just heavily implied it. We all knew what she was talking about, right? When you come to the point that even Nick Fuentes of all people is calling you out for the BS, you have done something terribly wrong. I don't know what's going on with my stream here. Have I cut out? I feel like I've probably cut out a couple of times. But anyway, yeah, I can't forgive Candace Owens for making Nick Fuentes say things that I agree with, and I can't say any more than that.
culture starts in elementary school. Hookup culture starts in elementary school. Now, Kylie, what could you possibly mean by that? I mean, letting your little daughters and your little sons have little boyfriends in kindergarten, first grade, middle school, letting them take those relationships so unseriously. Like they switch little boyfriends and little girlfriends at those ages like they switch their favorite color. We're teaching them from the very baby early stages that those relationships don't matter. They're just fun. They don't mean nothing. As they get older, that only grows. As things get more serious, they mature, their brains develop a little bit more, their hormones start raging. Guess what else ain't that serious now? Sex. That's why it's so easy. That's why you watch all these little kids in high school and middle school just literally jump from person to person to person to person. And it means nothing because we taught them when they were in kindergarten and first grade. Oh, look, is that your little boyfriend? That's so cute. Oh, is she your little girlfriend? That's so cute. Oh, you got another one this week? No, literally, you're teaching children how to be adults. You're teaching them that relationships mean nothing. They're trivial, that person that you're getting involved with is just not really that big of a deal. You can call me a prude, you can call me whatever you want, but if you pay attention to anything, you know that relationships are serious. And we shouldn't be playing that kind of stuff with little bitty kids who don't understand. You're literally training them to not take it seriously as they grow up. And yes, yeah, I'm passionate about this and I'll die on this hill. I'll die on this hill. There's no real feelings involved in this. We can just break up, move on to the next, break up, move on to the next. And then that translates later on into life into sex, because the older you get, the more serious relationships get, because your brain develops.
Yeah. There's a lot of components surrounding that. So even just the way that boys and girls treat boyfriend girlfriend relationships in middle school and throughout high school, the fact that it is made light of, and the fact that it's treated like, well, this is just a high school activity, right? This is just an activity that we're in, and it's not serious and it's not meant to be serious. Uh, my dad always said that was actually just conditioning people for divorce, which we see now. We actually do see now, 20 years later, that is exactly how people treat marriage. Is people get married, and then, like, at the first sign that it's not going well, at the first sign of trouble or just being generically unhappy, it's like, well, we got to get a divorce now because I'm just not happy. And that is a behavior that is learned in treating relationships in middle school and high school in such a cavalier way, in such a like it's meaningless kind of way. And she's right. Like, that does begin in primary school. There's a lot of things that begin in primary school that have to do with the relationship dynamics between genders. One thing that is also observed that begins in high school, and maybe it's subconscious, right? It's just part of the feminine nature, maybe, but like it's been observed that, like, little girls actually do, they will try and come between two boys who are friends, right? They will give one attention, and then start giving the other one attention and cause a rift between these two boys. They'll pit them against one another, and that's, like I said, I think it's subconscious. I don't think they're doing it intentionally. I don't. Maybe they know what they're doing, but I don't think they know what they're doing. I think they're just looking for attention from men, or maybe they like maybe they do like the drama, right? But there's a lot of very interesting behaviors that can be observed in both boys and girls that begin at a much younger age. And if you don't catch it, and you don't address it early, it just becomes a worse form of whatever that thing is when they get older. It becomes a much worse form of whatever that thing is when they get older. I agree with her 100%. That's a 100% solid take. We do need to be much more careful about what we're allowing our children to take part in, right? We need to be more careful about the behavior that we're and the culture that we're allowing them to take part in, the culture that we're cultivating around them, because that's going to have an effect on who they become in early adulthood, and in early adulthood, how they behave then will have a much harsher effect on where their life goes farther into adulthood, which is why we have, 40-year-old men and women today that are unmarried, have never been married, and have absolutely no prospects for marriage, and they're functionally useless to society. It's a tragedy. It is a cultural tragedy. Our culture has decayed so much that we've come to this point where we can't even establish solid, stable families to raise children to replace us. It's a huge problem. That's all I got. That's it for tonight. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for sitting through this. And as always, thank you for enduring us.